Namaste, I'm JV Dr. Sapna Gehlot, and my session is on balance of power. Balance of power has been guiding the decision and policies of nation. Palmer Parkin said that balance of power principle has been a basic principle of international relations. Now, the features of balance of power. Some sort of equilibrium in the power relations. Balance of power is a temporary and unstable. A particular balance of power survives only for a short time. Next, a foreign policy of balance of power must be changing and dynamic. And the fourth one is a balance of power is not a primary device of peace because it admits war as a means for maintaining peace. Big powers as actors of balance of power. National interest is its basis. The real basis that leads to this policy is national interest in a given environment. Now, assumptions of the balance of power. Protect their vital interest by all possible means. The vital interest of states are or may be threatened. Balance of power helps the protection of the vital interest means that states are not generally likely to commit aggression unless they have superiority of power. The relative power position of state can be measured with a degree of accuracy. Statesmen make their foreign policy decisions on their basis of an intelligent understanding of power consideration. These are the major postulates of balance of power. Nation following balance of power is prepared to change its alliances or treaties if the circumstances may so demand. When a nation finds that a particular preponderance of power is increasing menacingly, it gets prepared to go to the war for maintaining the balance. Then, balance of power postulates that no nation is to be totally eliminated in war. Now, what are the methods of the balance of power? Balance of power is a game which is played by actors with the help of several devices. The first is a compensation. A state enhances its power by acquiring new territories and thus with balance in its favor. When such things happens, the other side also take immediate step to increase its own power in compensation in order to preserve the balance. The next device is alliances and the counter alliances. Alliances is a device by which a combination of nations creates a favorable balance of power by entering into military or security pacts aimed at augmenting their own strength versus the power of their opponent. Alliances have been the most convenient institutional device to increase one insufficient power. Alliances can be offensive as well as defensive. The next is intervention and the non-intervention. Intervention is another commonly used device of keeping balance. It is quite possible that the allies may shift their loyalty from one side to another. Under such circumstances, it is quite usual for a big nation to regain a lost ally by intervening in its domestic affairs and establishing a friendly government there. Non-intervention suggests neutrality or guarantee of neutrality for certain states or of efforts to localize or to protect the rights of neutralized in times of war. The next is the divide and rule. The policy of divide and rule has also been the method of balance of power. It has been a time-honored policy of weakening the opponent. It is resorted to by all such nations who try to make or keep their competitors weak or by keeping them divided or by dividing them you can say it is divided into two countries or something like before 1947 you have said that India was divided into two. One is a Pakistan and then the one is India. That is a divide and rule by Britishers. Now the buffer state. The major function of a buffer state is to keep the two powerful nations apart and thus minimize the chances of clash and hence to keep the maintenance of balance. Armaments and disarmament. The main device of achieving balance is to arm Whenever one nation increases its strength, its rival has no other alternative but to enter an arms race. Armament race between two competitors or opponents can lead to a highly dangerous situations which can accidentally cause accidentally cause a war. Armament disarmament can destroy or restore a balance of power. The state concerned may agree an proportionate reduction in their arms, so that balance of power among them may be stabilized. But in practice, disarmament is sparingly utilized, except one defeated powers on the conclusion of a general war.